Hello, ladies. Hello, and happy Friday to all of you. This is Christina Garrett, your productivity coach, here today for Lunch and Learn Friday. Now, I have been moving, shaking, traveling extensively to the point where I've literally been trying to see if I'm coming or going. And so I have been wanting to take a little bit of time and making sure we're live in all the places. I've been wanting to make sure that I chat with my ladies and make sure that we all stay connected. I have been up and down the road from New Orleans and Essence Festival. What came before that? Traveling to Birmingham and Detroit. Like we have summered really, really hard with the Garrett family. And so today I am excited to have just a few minutes with you guys to go live and communicate, to share exactly what's been going on in our community, as well as to highlight some of the amazing changes that we're going to be making going forward this year. Today, for just a little while, our chat is literally going to be centered around the focus needed to finish strong. How very often procrastination, perfectionism, some realms of imposter syndrome can slow your progress down and keep you from becoming who you're supposed to become. It's going to keep you from really channeling exactly the energy you need to succeed. Okay. I'm going to take a second and go live in our Facebook group. I'm excited, y'all. I just wish, I wish I could download in all of the ways what's been happening here in our community. But I'm going to take a little bit and we're going to go there. For those of you, hey ladies, for those of you who have been visiting different places on our feed, you have been looking through some of our emails, you guys can see that there is a actual physical change in the air. I have not been able to fully depict it in all the ways, but I'm excited to see what God is going to do in our community, in our tribe this year for our conference. The connections, the networking, the learning, the growth have all been so crucial, so paramount to where we're going together. Now, tag my follower. There we go. I have been for the last few months really assessing the essentials. Okay, assessing the essentials. What does our community need in order to be successful? What do you need in order to finish strong? Who do you need to become in order to make this happen? And so I have been looking back over all of this and really assessing it for you guys, because what I never ever want to happen is for any of us, hey ladies, for any of us to feel like we don't have the tools that we need, or you end up feeling as though there's something that I feel like I'm called to do, but I don't have everything that I need in order to make it happen. And so we're going to assess this year, okay? We're going to assess this year exactly how you're going to make it happen. How in the world are you going to make it to the end of the year and have exactly what you need, and you've done exactly what you said you were going to do, okay? I sent out an email earlier that really pulled on some of us. I think I got a couple of email like messages back, and I was tickled at the idea that any one of us can enter overwhelm, burnout, or feeling that frustration because we are not fully tuned in, or what's what I'm looking for? We're missing that organization that's needed. I have been talking to my clients, okay, and I want you guys to hear me loud and strong. I've been talking to my clients. I'm about to go live in the group. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. Hey, everybody. Make sure I go live everywhere because you guys always fuss at me. Okay. So I have been talking with my clients over the last few weeks about the idea that drives doing really remarkable things in your business, in your family, in your community, in your movement, in your work. I have been trying to document over the course of time what it means to build a movement. Okay, what it means to gather people, to create infectious community that is needed for today's society, is needed for our communities today. When I went to New Orleans last week and attended Essence Festival, good morning, to be able to be in a space with so many amazing women leaders, okay, to be in that space just in and of itself was something that was so noteworthy for me. I had the opportunity to sit and to listen and to soak up how so many different women from different places and organizations are able to take their passion, take their purpose, and develop it into something that is going to change people's lives. Okay. I think that this is a philosophy that changes everything for us. It literally changes the game. And the reason that I believe this is because you cannot, hey there, everyone, you cannot be the woman that changes her community if you're not thinking ahead, if you're not thinking focused, if you're not channeling what you need to do in order to be that person. Okay. If you're not willing to be the woman that shows up consistently. Now, I have been identifying in my clients and many of us exactly what procrastination looks like. Exactly what it looks like when we put it off and we say, I'm looking forward to the right time. I'm looking forward to the right situation to help me make it happen. I'm looking forward to feeling ready. Okay. And I've been thinking to myself, what has readiness felt like for me over the last few years? How did I know that I was ready? And were there times where I gave excuses or reasons why I wasn't going to do something, or I gave the power of my own voice away so that I was waiting for someone else to submit that for me? So here's an unpopular opinion. Okay, I'm about to spit it out to everybody. Here's an unpopular opinion that waiting for the right time, waiting for a certain feeling of readiness is actually a form of procrastination. Some of us may not see ourselves as procrastinators, but today we're going to lean in, we're going to magnify a little bit. Let's see if we're telling ourselves the truth. Some of us may not identify as a procrastinator, but we know what it's like to be a perfectionist. Okay. We know what it's like to feel like I'm not sure if I can or I'm able or now's the time for me to do something. We know how it feels when we say, is this the right moment? Is my family ready? Can I handle it? We know what that feels like. These are all forms of perfectionism, procrastination, a form of paralysis where you just feel stuck, like I can't handle something. I don't know if I should go to the right or to the left, so I make no decision at all. All of this is just a way for you to stay in the comfort zone and chill out and enjoy it and soak it up. It's a way that we maintain our position. It might be an unpopular position. It might be an unpopular opinion. I'm okay with that today. I'm okay with saying that sometimes we call it other names, but it's really procrastination and perfectionism. I need it to look like this before I jump, before I say yes, before I go. Waiting for the right time is just another way for you to say, I don't have enough right now. I need something else. And because I have coached hundreds of mothers, not one or two, not a handful, not the clients that I've met this month or the last 6 months, hundreds of women over the last several years, I can 100% say 10 toes down, standing on business, that many of us look for reasons. We add other things in just to make the process take longer. We actually like the process to take longer. We don't admit it. But if God were to deliver to you right now exactly what you're asking him for, what is your readiness level looking like? And because we don't actually feel ready, we procrastinate. We procrastinate. We put it off. We let it go to another day, another time. Let me add more things to my list, right? I have so many notes from client calls. Y'all see this? Like so many notes from coaching women. This is since May. Nope. Yep, May of this year. All these notes from talking to my clients. So I can honestly say that we call procrastination a lot of other names. But you know the old Shakespearean quote, "A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet," or something like that. Procrastination by any other name is still you waiting for the right time. And so we might call it some other things. We might call it, I need to pray about it for longer. Y'all know I love the Lord. I'm a woman of prayer, right? I believe that we should go to God and we should ask him what his vision is for our life. And every day we should ask him for his will. And every day we should ask him to open up doors and to provide for us and to meet us where we are. And every single day I should say, Lord, where I can't do anymore, would you fill in the gap? Lord, would you do what I can't do for myself? But I'm willing to start the process. I'm willing to give God something, to put something on the altar that he can consume and work with. I'm willing to do that. But often what we do in our waiting for the right time, in our own personal form of perfectionism or procrastination, we call it, I got to pray about it some more. The Lord already spoke to you. He spoke to you last year. He spoke to you 2 years ago. He spoke to you way back when. And what we do inadvertently, what we do on accident is we still wait for the quote unquote perfect time. We're looking for that moment. We're looking for that breath of fresh air, this trickling down from above for the clouds to part. Okay. We're looking for these feelings to tell us that it's right. But I can almost promise you across the board that there are very few times where he's going to give you this divine awakening, okay? This divine awakening to help you hit that benchmark or help you hit that goal. Very often, hi Nicole, hi Shauna, very often across the board, you're gonna get these little these little green lights as you walk forward. That might be all you get. That may be all you get. And so you have to sometimes recognize when you're calling procrastination another name. Let's just be honest and say that's what it is. So we say, I got to pray about it. We also say, I might need to get somebody else's advice or opinion. Okay. You might feel like it's the right thing, but inside you don't really trust your own opinion. You may not trust yourself to have your own back, make the change, create the path, do the thing. So I got to call my best friend to see if this is right. I got to call my business bestie and say, girl, what are your thoughts about this? I got to call somebody else and say, what, before I make this move, do you feel like this is the right move? We call our husbands, right? To get their opinion, which is nothing wrong with that because I'm a in love, codependent, interdependent wife, right? Or if I'm making a big move forward, I'm going to talk to my husband about it. But there have also been times where I said, baby, I think this is the right thing. Here's why I feel like it's the right thing. I'm willing to work hard to make sure that it happens. I just want to hear your thoughts on it. And when he sees that I'm all in, I'm committed, he's like, well, sure, I believe in you too. There have been times where he believed in me first, but how much more effective is the work when I believe in me? When I know, okay, baby, I'm about to make this investment. And he says, do you need anything from me? No, I don't. I already got it covered. I just want to let you know I'm going to do this again. Or I'm going to invest in coaching again. Or I'm going to make this next step for the conference. Or all these things. I'm talking about it out loud to get it out my head at this point. But inside, I believe I'm going to have my own back. But a lot of times, what we will do is because we lack confidence in our own voice, we go to call everybody else to see what their thoughts are. We go to phone a friend. We go to phone everybody else to see, do you agree with this theory, this theology, this next move I'm about to make? Because I don't want to say it was just me that came up with it. That's a lot. I don't want to say that this is my vision and I'm taking steps towards working on my vision. This is what I see. I had to tell somebody earlier this week that I love. I was like, listen, this is what my vision is, what I see. All I need you to do is hold me accountable. I need you to hold me accountable to what I said I was going to do. Okay? So a lot of times this is an unpopular opinion. Hi, Ashley. Good morning. Are you going to have your own back with this thing? Are you going to back yourself up? Are you going to do the thing? So Ashley says she totally agrees, because when I'm certain about something, I will move mountains to make it happen. I've got some new programs I've been procrastinating on and struggling to find the courage to launch. I see you, friend. Okay. And especially, here's the thing too, especially when you are making significant moves forward, very often we're looking for ways to make things harder. We're looking for something to make it harder. We're looking to flesh out the idea, create all the bullet points, right? Find the courage. Like, what feeling are we looking for? I'm getting too far ahead. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting too far ahead. So we might call it, I got to pray about it. Okay. We might phone a friend. I got to call everybody else to see what their thoughts are, their opinion, their feedback. Okay. Where I say, you know what? Hey, friend, do you believe this like I believe this? Hi, husband. Here's your permission to talk me out of it. Okay. Sometimes we're looking for our husbands to say no so we can have a scapegoat. My husband doesn't feel like this is a good idea. I think you're more concerned. I can't tell y'all the amount of conversations I've had. If your husband doesn't think you need coaching, right? Some of us come to coaching because we have postpartum depression, or we're exhausted or overwhelmed, or we feel like we don't have the goods, or you're not feeling romantic, or you're overtouched, or you don't have any time, you don't have any energy, your resources are low, your courage is low. All these things are happening in your life. Okay, good morning, y'all, or afternoon. All these things are happening in your life. Nobody else is in here. Nobody else sees the entanglement that happens in your heart and your mind when you go to take action. They might not even understand why you need that level of support. So here you are looking for somebody else to get it, and they're not getting it. Sometimes you got to be okay. You get it. You understand. You see it, you feel it, and that is valid enough. Okay. So these are all forms of procrastination, saying we're going to pray about it. God already spoke to you. You know what he said. You wrote it in the journal, right? The Lord told me to do this. And then when it's time to execute, you go back and act like God never said nothing to you. Wait a minute. You already heard from him. Okay. Another way that we procrastinate is we do the Google search. We get to looking for the fastest, most resourceful, easiest, most comfortable way to do things versus going to find the way that is not necessarily right or wrong. It's just the right next step for you to take. Okay. I believe that there's no such thing as a perfect right step. Instead, you do the next thing that's in front of you to do. Hey, Shauna, I love y'all. You do the next thing that's in front of you to do. That's the thing. Are you kidding me? Y'all, the Mamathon conference is October 25th through the 27th in Atlanta. My goal, and one of my clients just said this to me right before I hopped on live. She was like, you always said this was a movement. You always said that. She's like, you have never, ever called it anything smaller than a movement. Because I expect whether you have hired me yet one-on-one or not, okay? I expect for every single woman who is a part of this community to be infectious, to change your corner of the world, to decide to opt out of any form of playing small, any form of overthinking, any form of it has to be done perfectly. I'm willing to release that so I can go change the world. And it happened for me this weekend at Essence Festival, sitting in the Ritz-Carlton, talking with television execs and talent development about Mamathon Conference. It happened to me this week, talking with a doctor of education about national nonprofit organizations that we're going to partner with this year and next year. It happened to me this weekend in New Orleans, talking with educational leaders who are starting schools and developing consulting firms and supporting communities, literally changing their corner of the world. I expect everybody else who's here in my sphere, if you can hear my voice, for us to do nothing less. For us to manage our families and manage our homes and manage our emotions and get over any thought of it has to be done this one particular kind of way. It's my job to start. The how comes later. How you're going to pull it off, it's okay if you don't know that yet. It's okay if you don't know it yet. I'm fine with that. It's okay if you're mustering up the courage. Like one of our other ladies said earlier today, that's okay. If you're figuring out how it's going to all come together, that's fine. But for you to say, well, you know what? I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for this particular person to say yes. I have had women say, I'm going to go talk to my husband. I know I need this. They go talk to their husband. They never come back. They don't come back. Their husbands don't actually believe they need coaching because they fake it so good. Let that mean whatever you need it to mean. They fake it so well. You fake it so good, he thinks there's nothing wrong with you. You smile as you clean the kitchen and you do all the work. And, you know, while you're dreaming of these other things and you're working towards creating some major moves, you're going to do it. You're going to get there. But he doesn't see behind the scenes all the time. So I have had women go and say, I'm going to talk to my husband about making this jump. And they do not come back. Because it's really hard to say, my husband said no, so I'm a no. That's really hard to say, okay? So what we do is these are all forms of procrastination. These are all forms of giving our voice away to other people. These are all ways that we say, I'm going to pray about it, but God already spoke to you 6 months ago. He spoke to you a year ago. He told you what to do. You might not know how to do it yet, but that's okay. We end up doing more research. I got to keep researching more and more. I got to look at all my options. I got to shop around, right? I got to know the exact perfect course to help me go viral tomorrow. And if it doesn't show, I got to Google. I got to find out which one is the best one. By the time you're done Googling, it's 2026. Okay, we call procrastination and perfectionism many things. We call it, I'm praying about it. We call it, I need to phone a friend, or I got to call my husband and see, does he approve? And that's not me delegating that away, because listen, I don't play about my husband. I'm going to call him. I'm going to get my thoughts out. I'm going to compare and contrast. And then you know what he's going to do? He's going to say, but baby, it's up to you. He's going to say, baby, it's up to you. If you feel like you're going to knock this out, then I believe that you're going to do exactly that. Most of us don't believe enough in ourselves to say whether my husband is for it or not, I'm going to make sure I get the best results. I'm going to make sure I do what I said I was going to do. Okay. And then some of us procrastinate by doing more research. We call it many things. Okay. We call it an awful lot of things. But because I have worked with or coached with hundreds of moms, I know firsthand that we often are looking for this magical feeling. Hey, ladies, looking for this magical feeling to tell us that we're in the right place, we're doing the right thing, now is the time. But what if there is no magical feeling? What if we let our feelings be and our emotions be the telltale, but they're not the actual true indicator? John C. Maxwell, leadership coach, guru, says that motivation is an after effect. It's something that comes to us later on after we've done the thing. You don't feel like working out until you drop 10 pounds, right? You don't feel like running until afterwards and I did a mile and I wasn't stopping. You don't feel like organizing that closet until you walk in and you can actually walk in. You don't feel like doing the thing until you see the fruit from actually having done it, okay? So many times, very often, we will miss out on those key moments because we're looking for a feeling. We want to do our affirmations. Ain't nothing wrong with affirmations. We want to do our affirmations. We want to have these long, extended solo weekend trips where we get to like just meditate and think through all of our life decisions. And if I can't have this time by myself, then I'm not ready. We feel like I need to have this extended morning routine. Baby, you got 2, 3, 4, 5 children. You don't get extended long morning routines. Okay. Some of us are looking for these other signs, like when you walk outside and the sun comes out magically just for you, like you're looking for that moment. Instead of realizing that sometimes when we're doing all of this, we're actually procrastinating on execution, on the doing, on the actual doing of it, on taking action on what we said we were going to do. I told a friend of mine this week, I said, as I prepare for the conference, as we're talking to these like national organizations and we're talking to all of these media outlets and we're doing all this work, I'm like, oh my goodness, every time I set a goal, I'm going to achieve my goal. I believe that I believe that 100%, no matter what, I'm going to hit my goal. And I'm not asking anybody's opinion about if I'm going to hit my goal. I'm not asking anybody to hype me up every single morning because I'm going to hit my goal. I wake up and I have that goal internalized. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to pray about it and I'm going to put it on the altar and I'm going to say, okay, God, let's do this thing. And God is going to help me bring it to light. God's going to do it. But the Bible says to commit your plans, commit your way unto him, and he will bring it to pass. If you haven't committed anything, if you haven't brought the plans to him, what's he got to work with? You're waiting for him to just shine the light and give you the 10 commandments. And in reality, you already know your next step. You already know the next step. You already know what it is. You might be looking for this magical feeling to show up for you. Hey, Shakira. You might be looking for this magical feeling, but he already told you. The magical feeling comes after. The magical feeling comes later. The motivation comes later. The pounds lost comes later. After you make better choices. After you go and walk around the track. After you apply for that job. After. It doesn't come before. And I know what we're looking for. We're looking for this excitement. We're looking for this gooey feeling to tell us you got to create that feeling. You have to create motivation. You have to create momentum. You have to create joy. You have to create the feeling of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish. I'm going to make it happen. You have to create that feeling. Because very often what we will do is we'll talk ourselves out of the dynamic life, the overjoy, the brilliance that's on the way. We will talk ourselves out of it because we're waiting for the motivation. We're waiting for the clear feeling. We're waiting for this, the sun to shine. Now is the time, my child. You won't know that. You just got to walk by faith. You just got to go forward and do the next thing. You have to be the one that takes the action. Okay. And so here's the cheat code to all of this. Y'all hear my baby out there today? Inside my office. Here's the cheat code. Okay. You really cannot afford to wait. You really can't afford to wait. Like, you have to make a decision. You have to decide to be ready. You got to just decide, I'm going to be ready today. You got to decide today, I'm going to be the person that does the thing. You have to decide today, I'm going to be the woman who walks into 2025 and has done everything this year that she said she was going to do. What happens on this in our imaginary, like analysis paralysis and all of this, which really does feel very real. In the midst of that, what ends up happening is we are more worried about what's on the other side. What if it actually works? What if it actually comes through? What if they actually say yes? What if to all of these things? Okay. And then we will end up looking for some sense of magic or some sense of exuberance to help match with that idea. But what happens if everything goes according to plan? What a glorious feeling that will be. Okay. And you have to believe 100% that on the other side, you're capable of figuring out what's going to happen. You're capable of figuring it out. Your family can handle it. Your business will grow. Your home will be more successful, will have a better flow. On the other side, you're going to walk into your leadership journey. You're going to start that consulting business. You're going to become an educational entrepreneur. You're going to become a mom who secures the bag and sends big invoices. You're going to become that woman that does those things that's on television. I have had my clients, they're on their local daytime TV shows. They are doing Afropunk, Essence, Pop Sugar, Forbes, who else? Fox News, CBS. Like they are like boom, 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 like knocking these logos out. But that's on the other side of you having a well-managed mind. A well-managed mind, one that doesn't go all over the place every time something different happens. Okay. And so as I wrap up, I got business to handle today and more calls. I want to say this from my core. I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. Number one, you decide to be ready. Okay. You decide to be ready. And I firmly believe, I wholeheartedly believe that our children deserve to be raised by mothers who inspire them. The next generation, if you're a momty, like an auntie, or you're a mentor, you're a leader, you're an educator, you're inspiration to other women, I believe that people deserve to be mentored by, raised by brilliant women who inspire them. And you show them what dreaming and time management and self-care all together, what those things look like. Okay. I believe that our children deserve to see our glow up, to see us in all of our glory, taking up space and owning our zones of influence. And I know that they'll either want to be more like you, like they'll either want to emulate you, or they're going to want to go and do the opposite. One of two things. They're either going to want to be more like you, or they're going to want to go and do the opposite of what you did, what you showed them. You get to determine today which one that is going to be. Okay, you get to determine which one that will be. And so for the brilliant ladies who are here in our community, who you want to create bigger impact, more influence, bigger partnerships, you want to do a bigger vision, you know that you have something to say, something to tell the world, you want to put some gusto behind that thing. I am very honored to coach and work with amazing women who are in mental health. They are therapists, they are doctors, they are educators, they are entrepreneurs, they are lawyers, they are professors. They are coaches and authors and speakers. Everybody's not a coach, right? Everybody doesn't have to be one. But you do have to have this larger than you vision. And maybe you're working through the how behind the vision. And you know that like our families, the needs of your family can't wait until next year. The person you need to become to accomplish those things cannot wait until next year. And sometimes we're playing around with our own potential and we're playing around with our own capabilities to the point where it's going to be 2025. And we will still be having the same level of conversations with ourselves that we were before. Okay. We'll still be doing the same thing. And I want my kids to be able to look at their mom and say, my mama does work that she loves. My mama, when she goes and she leaves for 3-4 days to go to her conference. When she comes back and she lays out on the couch and she's like, oh my gosh, God, me and you, we did that. When I get to come back and reflect from that place, I can fully say every time I set a goal, I achieve my goal. And I want everybody that's here and connected in this space to feel the same way. I set a goal, I achieve it. It's not up for debate. It's not maybe sometimes. I'm not waiting until I feel motivated. I'm not waiting until the quote unquote time is right. I'm not waiting for all of these external things, right? These external things, when it's up to me to believe what God says about me and then take action based off of that belief. I just choose to believe. Like when I see it in my mind, I say, okay, I believe that. It's not real yet. It hasn't happened yet, but I already know it's on the way. So internally, I'm in November. Like on the inside, my schedule, my mindset is in November and thinking about the reopening of the Mamathon Mastermind in November. The conference is done. In my mind, I still have things to do, right? I still got things to do. But my goal now is to fill the conference with as many women who want to work with someone this year, right? So when you come to the conference as a client, it's a different experience than when you come as an attendee. On Friday, we have a VIP day all day. We met in the presidential suites, right? And we had and we did coaching all day Friday. We did over lunch. And then we had the meet and greet Friday night. And then we had the normal sessions on Saturday and Sunday. But when you come there, it's almost like a graduation. It's almost like a next step forward because you've been working on your goals all year. You've been working intently, mastering the essentials all year. You've been deciding, making powerful decisions all year long. You've been deciding what dream you're going to focus your energy and attention in on instead of being scatterbrained, instead of moving all over the place and feeling like every time I get focused, something comes up or my life keeps lifing. What do you do when you have to become that person? That's what coaching is for. Okay. Coaching is for all of the in between, the life where you're like, okay, Christina, this is where I am. And this is where I want to go. But the how sometimes can get the best of me. That how sometimes having the courage, like Ashley said, to do the thing, to make the pivot, to be okay with changing. Even me having this conversation right now, I'm calling on the women who want to work with a coach for the rest of the year. Not once a month, twice a month, sort of, kind of. You know you have to get out of your own way. You know you need that level of support because you have some goals that are way bigger than you. You know you have some partnerships you need to create. Okay? Routinely, my clients are securing their clients that are spending 5K, 10K, 20K investing in coaching. Right? That's what their clients are doing. They're operating at that level. They're operating on a Essence level, a Forbes level, a daytime TV media correspondent level. We're not playing small anymore. We're not doing any more of this. Oh, I sort of kind of want to do this today, but the next week I don't feel like it. No, vision in hand. And you know firmly, you know that in order for me to go and be that person, for me to go and be that woman, I have to work on what's happening in here and in here. And so this is your call to action. This is your call to action to the moms who know that they are called to lead, to the ones who are focusing on bigger impact, bigger influence in their local communities, bigger partnerships, not doing it afraid, right? We work on doing it, but not doing it scared. Doing it because I know that it's time. That's a different level of boldness, a different level of audacity. Of course, they need your services. Of course, they need your voice. Of course, they're looking for you. They just don't know that it's you. That's a different kind of conversation where the changes that we need to make in our businesses and our families and our self-care cannot wait until next year. It's for now. Okay. I've been talking back and forth with several ladies this week. Some of them are like, yes, green light. Others are at a yellow light, right? And it's okay if you're not sure about you. But one thing I can say is that when you come here to this space, we have so many receipts that show you that the Mamathon method works. We help you to take better care of you, to take better care of your family, and still be present and knock your goals out at the same time. You don't have to choose. And you don't got to be exhausted and burned out while you do it. Okay. And so you get to choose today to be the mom that inspires her children. You get to choose today to be the dreamer whose time doesn't leak through her hands and go other places, or whose overthinking doesn't slow her down. Today, you get to choose to take better care of you and find the time, make the time, create the impact that you want to create without falling into bed every single night like you just don't have capacity, without talking yourself out of doing the bigger thing, or feeling like if I don't have this down, it ends everything. What about your essentials? What about mastering that? And so this is your call to action. If you've been considering, you know that you need it. Let's just get that out there. You know you need support. You're not moving as fast as you want to be moving. The results tell it. Okay. I don't live with y'all, so I don't know what all y'all doing over there. But very often we are feeling challenged or struggled with taking the next step and doing it consistently. Doing it consistently. Even if consistently is a couple days a week, or consistency looks different for everybody, it's your method of consistency. You know you need to do that. You know you need to handle business, okay? And so I have coaching open, right? This call to action is for the women who know that they need to make the pivot. And you know you need to get out of your own way, and you know that you're ready to uncover the how, and you need some accountability to make sure it happens. Because when it comes time to execute, we may have our family to-do list that get in the way. We may have our overthinking that gets in the way. We may be so exhausted we don't have the goods to finish strong like we want to. Let's work together. Let's work together. Okay. We're in mid-July now, so I'm taking clients who want to work with me for the rest of the year. As in turn up January, right? Looking at how you want to finish the year strong without doing all the things, without putting on your superwoman cape and flying to and fro like a speeding bullet and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to do that. We don't want to max out, but we do still want to be just as effective while being present. I don't want to be haphazard. I don't want to just wing it. I don't want to just throw things together. I want to make sure that I am doing what I said I was going to do this year. I said it was going to be my year. I said I was going to do this. I was going to do that. Have you done it at the level at which you said you were going to? So this is for the moms. Excuse me. The moms who are called to lead, and you know that. Okay, you know that. You know who you are. You know that you had these ideas that are worth so much, and you just need support with following through, with uncovering what may not be working, with sorting through the systems, okay, with having a strategy, a plan of action on what to do next. Okay, you'll have glittery object syndrome start to pop up, where you feel like, oh, I should do this over here. What about this over here? What about this? No, let's stay focused. This is enough. This will work. This will get your family to the goal. If you don't bounce all over the place, if you don't switch it up every couple months, and we're always moving and shaking, I feel like I'm called over here now. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Let's refine. Let's do the essentials. Okay. And so if you are that woman who knows that she's called to lead, and you know that you have to create a better plan of action to make sure you do what you said you were going to do this year, I want you to reach out to me in Messenger. You can just send, hey, Christine, I want to set up a call. Okay. And what we'll do is I'll be traveling again with one of the foundations that we do work with Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what we'll do is we'll set up a time to talk on Monday or Tuesday. Okay. Monday or Tuesday, we'll set a time to chat and we'll go ahead and get you locked in. Okay. But what I don't want anybody who's connected to me to do is to feel like their overthinking or perfectionism is slowing them down. We haven't even sometimes identified that that's what the problem is. But in reality, that's what's slowing us down. Okay. And so it would be my honor to invite you into the community. I want to say at least 20 to 22 of the ladies who are attending the conference already are clients, which I'm excited, this year clients, which is very exciting. And I would like for you to join us. I want for you to come and join some really remarkable advocates and therapists and doctors and educators, brilliant women leaders who know that their calling is to change their sphere of the world, their area, their community. Okay, so that's where we're going. We are indeed creating a movement. We are indeed impacting our local communities by the work that we're doing. Okay, and so we want you to be a part of that. So if you're down, I invite you to send me a message after this live is over, after you're done watching. Just say, Christina, this is the time I'm available on Monday or Tuesday. I want to chat with you about what coaching would look like for the next 6 months. Okay. I'm excited to hear about what kind of magic you're going to create this year. All right. But I want us to fully remember that our children deserve to be raised and nurtured by mothers who inspire them. And I believe that all of us who are here, who are listening to me, are those women. Okay. All right, y'all. I love you dearly. I will see you all next time. Thanks for joining.